Is it a good idea to buy Bitcoin? This question is something that many people are asking themselves as Bitcoin has formed new all-time highs altogether and throughout the last year. We're going to dive into the current analytics of Bitcoin and our prediction on where the cycle is going to go. So stay tuned. We're going to continue right after the intro. Hello and welcome to yet another video from Broombridge Capital. My name is Patrick, and today we're gonna really answer the question if it is a good idea to buy Bitcoin at the moment. Now, Bitcoin is now sitting at 115,000. We formed our all-time high at 123,000, and the question is now, how is this gonna continue? So far, if I want to answer it really short and swift, I would say that you should hold off a little bit. I don't think it's a good time to buy around here because we do see cheaper prices coming, and I want to reason you with that, showing you some analogs from the prior cycle as well as current positioning in terms of institutions that really gives us a bigger picture. If you look at Twitter, if you look at other YouTube videos, you're going to find very bullish analysis. But is this very well merited? I wouldn't say so, and I think there's more reason to caution than in any other point in this cycle before. Therefore, it is really important for us to really set the context of the tone of the Bitcoin price action at the moment. Let's start off with an analog to the prior cycles. You can see that we have a very, I would say, head and shoulders looking like chart formation that we can also see here, okay? Before that, it was followed by a very large crash. We had the COVID dump right there. And then we entered into a very bullish phase that was a zigzag formation to the upside. This is another zigzag formation to the upside, all right? Then we entered a correction, which then again pushed price higher. We entered this correction and then we pushed up higher in price. Then price didn't do a whole lot for a couple of months, right? This was very sideways. Price didn't do a whole lot for a couple of months. And then we had a large push down. And then we formed yet another new all-time high. And we formed yet another new all-time high. So the prior cycle is more or less playing out the current cycle. And the question is now, how deep is this analog going to go lower, and whether or not we're going to enter a bear market if nothing comes from that. So I don't think the bear market case is likely at the moment, just because this formation, while being this formation, is much stronger now than it used to be prior to that. However, I do foresee that we should get a correction lower because the extensions to the upside from this current price action are significantly weakening. What do I mean by that? Let's just show that to you. Let me just adjust the chart for a little bit. So what I mean by that is if you look at the amount of corrections we had, look with how much ease this leg to the upside is going, then we get a correction. Okay, then we have another easy move to the upside, but we get a correction much earlier. Look at the length of this move. This was from October 2023 until March of 2024, while this move, starting around September 2024, lasting only into December. So in terms of time, this is half of what we got here. Okay, and then, well, you could say this could be a correction analog to this leg, and this is our secondary leg. That is true. You could see that, but then I would say this correction is very mild. This is very deep in comparison. The character here really changes. Another reason why I think that this is not as bullish as it used to be is this secondary leg. You could say that this is the leg that we should compare it to. Then I would say it's still weaker. Our extension to the upside is far smaller, and still, if it was an analog to this, like this leg, then we should see still a larger correction. This was 8 months in duration. So if this is going to turn out to be 8 months in duration, you can probably see where I'm going with this. So if this leg is stronger and this leg is weaker, we should see a stronger correction to the downside. Okay, so this is our analog theory from where I see what's going on over here. Furthermore, we can also now see, and this is the second story that I want to tell you here, is that we are in a trend channel, okay? See how bullish we are if we exit the channel. Now, you cannot really overcome mathematics when it comes to that, because if you're in a trend, you're usually going to get a deviation to the upside until we reach the mean. And if you go to the downside, you're going to get, again, a movement to the mean, okay? That is why we couldn't break out of this channel here, and we couldn't break down from this channel here, and this had persisted so far. But look, this overthrew the channel, this overthrew it a slight bit, this didn't reach even the channel high, okay? So that's another sign of weakness that we see here that we need to take into consideration, because this is weaker. This is so much weakness compared to everything else that we've seen, and therefore we should see it in a very different eye than this leg or this leg. So the correction or the reaction should at least be stronger than this, because it's much weaker, okay? So the result of that, since it's weak, therefore the other side of the coin is going to be more strong. Just applying logics here, okay? So this is that. Then we also see positioning. Institutions are now going short Bitcoin. Even though this is not the public story, we have access to data that shows that institutions are more or less net short on this one, and more of the shrimps, so the small buyers, are very long currently. So if buyers that are really not really relevant in the market are buying, and if the sellers that actually make for the price action are selling, that tells you another story to this puzzle, which is that we're probably going to get a correction down lower. Additional factors could be the non-farm payroll data. The numbers don't really look good. So if you think that, there's less people actually in the market that are holding up the price, for instance, with like a good economy that is giving you a lot of overhead, you're not losing your job, then you have the money to put into the market. But if those people are missing because they don't have the job, well, where is good price going to go? They will need to sell off their Bitcoin to pay some bills maybe, okay? And of course, we also have like the Trump administration that is sometimes bullish on everything, and then they change their mind and everything like that. So this is like something that you would want as an institution. And since we are now lowering interest rates, we still have a time window of uncertainty, okay? So that is why I think there's going to be a slump in this market. Furthermore, what would be the price targets for this price decline? I think we're going to test the lower levels of the 100,000 range. So if we see, we're currently exiting the short-term channel around here. And this is something that I said to our members in our Discord, because you need to be very careful when this becomes very weak. And I said this around here. And I also said this around here. And by the way, if you want to join that Discord, it's completely free. It's something that we offer as a community. So if you want to just click on the link down below, you're going to get redirected to our Discord. And there is a free chat where you can interact with us, ask questions, and we will be happy to help you. We do cover over 180 markets, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and precious metals, as well as individual stocks from the Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500. Therefore, there's a lot of things that you can take with you, and our current portfolio performance is over 48% per year. So what we're doing is doing really nicely, and we are currently warning that there is kind of something going to go down here. So all the premium offerings will be in the Discord listed. So if you want to join us there as well, I really encourage you to check that out, because it's free. You have nothing to lose, right? All right. So now let's move into the analysis. You can see the volume is just simply not supporting this move to the upside, and we have exited this downward channel. So where would I project the price from here? And let's just take our analog from basic logic. Okay. So the last time we attempted a push down lower was around here. We are at the same point at the moment. We had a rally to the upside, and this was weaker, okay? This is much stronger. So I would say a local test of 109,000 is going to tell us what's going on. It could be a fake out, and then everything's going to reverse and go to the upside. But imagine there's even less volume supporting this move, okay? So if this rally turns out to be weaker, I would say we're going to go to the 100,000, because this is the trigger point that actually got us this rally. Okay, so if we are going to test that, sure. But what if we go down lower? If I say this is not where the support is being found, so we're going to have to check on this level, then, and notice how I formulate this, if then we're going to go lower to 94,000 and possibly even 78,000. And I think this is the ultimate final max pain price, because this will be a macro double bottom where you can skyrocket much higher, okay? However, it's going to scare the shit out of everyone. Okay. The other thing is that if you do that type of formation, everybody is going to believe that this is what's happening. So everybody will be expecting the same analog as I'm showing you here, that we're going to get a weak rally. But what if this price is actually a double bottom and then we skyrocket to 140,000. I think this is a good possibility. It will probably the last leg in this bull market as well. And therefore, every coin falls into one place where it shows you the clear direction. Okay, so I think it's more down in the short term than up. And then at this point, I would say it's a good thing to invest into Bitcoin, just not now. It's not the time, and you really want to time it well, and this is where I think will be the best time. Okay, and we will assess this along the way. I'm Patrick with Bloomberg Capital. If you did like this video, please press a like and share and subscribe to our channel. And if you'd like to see more, join our Discord. As I said, we offer lots of value for everyone, and I think we are one of the best in the class when it comes to market analysis, and therefore you can find lots of good ideas and suggestions, and of course a lot of opportunities how you can make yourself more money and outperform the market. So join us and check us out, and I'll see you in the next video.